A very good evening. You're watching News 9 with me, Akshita. And first up, the 22-year-old woman who was sexually assaulted in Frasertown met the police commissioner with her complaint. In the 45-minute meeting in his office, the girl urged Commissioner Auradkar to take strict action against the accused. My colleague Arun joins us over the phone lines with more details. Arun, over to you. Any word on exactly what was discussed between the victim and the commissioner?
Akshita, there is a bit of speculation as to what exactly transpired during this particular meeting between Commissioner Auradkar and this particular victim. There is one school of thought suggesting that probably, let me stress the word probably, some of the elements which are reportedly close to the Pulakeshi Nagar police inspector, Rafiq, who has been who is in the dock for refusing to register the complaint, and he received a bit of flack even in the Legislative Assembly session this morning. Now, people reportedly close to him, in fact, read it as kind of gangsters, seem to have called up this woman and abused her, and seem to have even issued some threat, made some threat calls. So apparently the victim is kind of scared, and the victim is trying to approach the police higher-ups to ensure that people do not let go of her, and that this particular inspector is taken to the dock, and that he is made to realize that he did commit a grave crime. But at this point of time, this is speculation that probably she's been receiving calls from some of these antisocial elements who are reportedly close to this particular cop, Rafiq, who's suspended. And the reason for meeting the commissioner is to not only lodge a complaint, but also to bring it to his notice the fact that she is feeling threatened, Akshita.
Right. Our meeting, was any announcement made by the commissioner to ensure better security for the victim and her friend?
What we're given to believe is that the police commissioner did listen to the victim, and he seemed to have assured that the department will provide all kind of support that is required. Remember, this particular incident has completely cast the Bangalore police in very bad light. In fact, virtually every prominent politico today referred to this particular shameful incident, and there were a lot of people, including, ironically enough, the Speaker of the Legislative Assembly, Kagodu Timmappa, who came down heavily on the police, saying that Bangalore had become a kind of a safe haven for many of these police officials who were not by any stretch of imagination willing to get transferred to other locations. They would sit there in Bangalore doing virtually nothing, and that's the reason for the deteriorating or increasing crime rate as far as the city is concerned, Akshita.
Right, Arun, thank you so much for joining us with all those details. But the victim there, ensuring that justice will be delivered to her, has gone ahead and met with the police commissioner. We understand that she, as well as her friend who was with her when the incident took place, met Auradkar and requested that security be given to them. She claims that she has received a couple of threat calls as well. So besides that, she's also stated that she requests the police to go ahead and take this forward and ensure that the accused, as well as his friends, are in fact given the harshest of punishments. But also, of course, the main accused, who has been arrested for allegedly molesting the 22-year-old girl in the city, has spilled the beans during interrogations. The accused, identified as Haider Nazir, has confessed that he had molested a girl earlier as well. Haider Nazir works as a real estate agent and also sells second-hand cars. His father, who has been identified as Bahadur, is a BSP leader. His father had contested in the recently concluded Lok Sabha polls as well. Meanwhile, massive protests have erupted demanding justice for the victim of the molestation case. ABVP activists joined hands with students of Maharani College at Anandrao Circle, demanding swift action against the culprits and better safety for women in Bengaluru.
Benko.
And well, the railways, in an effort to build an underpass, has created chaos in Sahakar Nagar. They have dug a huge pit inside the BDA park. All this is being done without informing the civic agency. The underpass is being built between Sahakar Nagar and Canara Bank Colony. Under the park, there are pipelines that are laid under the Kaveri 4th stage. The residents fear that the underpass work will damage the lines that have been laid under the park. In fact, this is a bang in the middle of the BDA park in Sahakar Nagar. Now, the reason there is so much of worry about this particular digging is that there are pipelines that are laid under, which is, of course, the Kaveri 4th stage. It supplies water to the residents of Sahakar Nagar. Now, they have gone ahead and questioned this construction, considering that it will affect the water supply. And that's why the residents have demanded an answer from the officials. We understand that they are going ahead and attempting to build an underpass in this particular area. Now, they've started digging in the BDA park, reached a level where, in fact, they've touched pipelines. And these pipelines are key for the people of that particular area. It is what provides them the basic amenity of water. And they claim that if they continue the construction, they continue the digging up, the water supply will be affected. My colleague Verghese joins us with more details. Verghese, over to you. Take us through exactly what we know about this.
Well, this particular project has been taken by the railways, and this is without informing the particular specific agency. And this has, in fact, become a shocker for the residents in Sahakar Nagar, because this particular park has got pipes that have been laid underneath it. It is in the Kaveri 4th stage that this particular pipe has been laid, and they are worried that this construction.
Right, we'll get back to Verghese there, but of course it looks like all the residents were even going ahead and questioning the officials, asking exactly what kind of measures are being taken to ensure water supply is not hit. They've questioned how such an unplanned operation could be taken up by the officials, when quite clearly it's known that pipelines are present in that particular area and water supply will be affected if in fact the digging continues. But this is, of course, the underpass construction that's taking place in Sahakar Nagar. Well, my colleague Verghese once again joins us over the phone lines with more details. Verghese, if you could take us through exactly what the residents had to say to the officials.
Well, the residents are concerned that the civic agencies, especially like BDA, has not been informed with regards to this. And why is it that these agencies have not been taken into confidence while this particular project is actually being carried out on a BDA property? The park belongs to BDA, and the BDA is clueless about it. They also want the BWS to be taken into confidence because there are a lot of pipes in the Kaveri 4th stage that is supplying water to Sahakar Nagar as well as Canara Bank Colony. So these two residential areas are worried that this particular underpass could damage the entire. So they are concerned that their water supply could be hurt with this particular project, and there should be a relaying of pipes. So the residents want the railways to in fact take both the civic agencies into confidence, Achita.
Right, Verghese. Also, of course, is there any word on whether the residents have planned any sort of protest or whether they're going to go ahead and seek some sort of intervention by higher officials?
Well, the residents have, in fact, approached the concerned authorities with regards to this matter. They want it to be done scientifically. They want the entire planning to be done in such a way that the water supply is not hurt, nor it creates a problem for both the residential areas of Sahakar Nagar as well as Canara Bank. So the residents have approached concerned officials, but most of the officials who fall are either in the BDA or the BWS. Say that the chances of them, in fact, finding a proper response from the railways is quite grim, because this is a complete project carried out by the railways themselves, and they've not taken any of these civic agencies into confidence, Achita.
Right, Verghese, thank you so much for joining us with all those details. But the residents clearly angered by the fact that such a construction has been taken up by officials, when quite clearly there are pipelines present there which supply water to the residents. Their basic worry is, of course, that the water supply will be affected, and this will leave them with a huge cripple in the days to come. Moving on, there was a heated debate this morning over the alleged molestation of a girl in a moving car in Bengaluru. Srinivasapura MLA Ramesh Kumar led the debate. He asked would the government sit quietly if it had happened to one of their daughters. He took a hard stand on the issue, saying rapists should be shot dead and that the government should take steps to ensure women's safety. His statement was backed by Bopaya, CT Ravi, Shashikala, Sunil Kumar and YSV Datta.
ಸುಮಾರು ಎನ್ಕೌಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಆದವು ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರೇ. ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲೇ ಬೀದಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹಣ ಬಿದ್ದುಬಿಡ್ತು. 4-5 ರೌಡಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಣ ಬೀಳೋಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಶಬ್ದ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಊರು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೊಟ್ಟೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರು. ಒಬ್ಬ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಕಲೀಗು ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಚೇನ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆಕ್ಷೇಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ರಾಚೇನ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಎನ್ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಸಾಯಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ರು ಕಲೀಗ್ಗೆ. ಐ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ಸ್. ರಾಚೇನ್ ಅವರಂಥವರು ಅನ್ಸಂಗ್, ಅನ್ವೆಪ್ಟ್, ಅನ್ಮೌರ್ನ್ ನಾವು ನೆನಪು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಬ್ಬ ಗೃಹ ಮಂತ್ರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವರು ನಡೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೌಡಿಗಳ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸೆನ್ಸಿಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಏನಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಡಜನ್ ಜನನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಗೂಂಡಗಳನ್ನ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಎನ್ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸುಟ್ಟು ಬಿಸಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ಸಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೈ ಡಾಟರ್, ಹೌ ಡು ಐ ಫೀಲ್? ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಪಂಗಡ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮತ್ತೊಂದಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಾವು ವಿರೋಧ ನಾಚಿಕೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಮನುಷ್ಯರಾಗಿ. ತಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರೇ, 100ಕ್ಕೆ 100 ಸತ್ಯ. ಈ ಇಡೀ ಸದನ ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಸಾಲದು. ಆ ಸ್ಥಾನದಿಂದ ತಾವು ಆ ಮಾತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಗೂಟ ಹೊಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೀವಿದ್ದಾಗ್ಲೂ ಇವರಿದ್ದಾಗ್ಲೂ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಇಲಾಖೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪೋಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಶು, ಎರಡನೇದು ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್. ಇವೆರಡನ್ನು ಮೀರಿ ಆಚೆಗೆ ಬನ್ರಿ. ರಾಜ್ಯ ಉಳಿಬೇಕು, ಜನ ಉಳಿಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಉಳಿಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾನ ಮರ್ಯಾದೆ ಉಳಿಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ನೆಮ್ಮದಿಯಾಗಿ ಓಡಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ತೀರ್ಮಾನಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳು ಯಾವುದೂ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಲೆಟ್ ದಿ ಎನ್ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಬಿಗಿನ್ ಟುಮಾರೋ. ನಾವು ಎನ್ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲೋ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು.
Well, even Speaker Kagadu Timmappa reacted on the matter, saying such incidents happen under every government and demanded the dismissal of all errant officials. Promised action against the culprits. And well, on a day when MLAs and ministers were engaged in serious debate, a few others were seen relaxing and messaging their friends. Umesh Katti, the BJP MLA from Hukkeri, seemed very disinterested in the proceedings. He was seen using WhatsApp to message his friends. And even as Umesh Katti was seen WhatsApping several other people, others were seen catching a snooze. And of course, HD Revana also caught there, going ahead and reading the newspaper, catching up on the proceedings of the day. While in fact there was such a heated debate taking place, an issue that of course demanded the attention of every single member of the assembly. It seemed like while several people were expressing their anger, expressing their shock, promising action, there were several others who were busy with their own passing time. And of course, while some of them were fast asleep, others reading the paper. But Umesh Katti was busy going ahead and messaging all his friends. He was seen clearly WhatsApping on his phone, even as several people were expressing shock over the 22-year-old sexual assault case.